Hello, welcome everybody to the very first modern video of the year 2023. We're gonna be playing with Titania. And of course, the last time I played with Titania in Modern, we got a nice little 5-0. So why don't we just give that another, a little bit of an extra tweak. So what we're gonna be doing today, instead of playing Collected Company, we're gonna be playing with Titania Protector of Argoth and Sarah Paragon in a fairly similar shell to the last one that I played. So we're gonna be playing Titania, Voice of Gaia. We're gonna be playing Knight of Reliquary. Of course, we're gonna be playing with my boy over here, my invitational card, Elvish Reclaimer. But instead of going the value Collected Company approach, we're going to be going the Ensoul tutor approach. So we're going to have access to 3 calls that will get us Endurance, Renegade Rallier as our value engines, Sarah Paragon as a way to accrue card advantage in the mid to late game, a bunch of removal in Prismatic Ending, and 4 copies of Leyline Binding. And yeah, some Titania, Voice of Gaia that we're going to try to assemble the Wombo combo alongside Argoth, Sanctum of Nature. The rest of the deck list is going to be an Ursa Saga deck, so we're going to have 3 sagas over here. And I had to only play 3 instead of the 4 copies that I usually like to play in this kind of deck because number one, my curve is a little bit higher because of the Sarah Paragons and the Titanias. And number 2, because I need to be playing Yawgmoth alongside Knight of the Reliquary so that I can sacrifice Flagstones to the Knight. So that forces me to be playing with Yawgmoth in my deck, which can be a little bit awkward. But besides that, we have a small tutor package with Suranor, Sogad Lantern, Shadow Spear, Expedition Map. We have a couple of lands that don't really do too much. We have Jetmir's Garden and Rafin's Tower. Rafin's Tower being basically an ETB tap plains, but obviously we need to have access to these in order to play Leyline Binding. Of course, we could just, be playing Jetmir's Garden and maybe just assume that Leyline Binding is going to be always costing 3 or 4 mana. But I'm going to try to see if this works. It may not work and it may be terrible, but there's only one way to find out. The rest of the mana base is going to be some Shocklands, Plains, and Forests as basics, Flagstones of course, and a singleton Bojugabog and a singleton Boseiju. These are going to be my tutor targets for Reclaimer. I was considering playing a singleton Celestia Sanctuary as a way to bounce the Boseiju and sort of get like some extra value there if I need with Reclaimer. Also, back in the days of Green-White Reclaimer, the singleton bounce land sometimes mattered a lot when trying to hit your land drops, but if you don't have enough time to get Flagstone's engine going. So that's something that I considered, ended up not going for it in the end, but that's something to keep in mind as well. In the sideboard, we have extra removal in Prismatic Ending. We have Force of Vigor, we have Chalice and Void Mirror, mostly versus the Cascade decks. Engineered Explosives, pretty solid against it in a variety of matchups. And then we have a couple of tutor packages going on. First of all, we have the creature tutors, which are Containment Priest, Sanctifier and Vec, Burrington Forge Tender, and the Singleton Orvar, the All Form. All of these are cards that we can find, and they're fantastic in their specific matchups. This is against the red decks, this and Scam and things like that, versus Fury decks as well. Containment Priest against the Archon decks, the Creativity or whatnot, and Orvar, same reason. Containment Priest also pretty solid versus Rhinos and things like that, so something to keep in mind. And then we have the Ursa Saga package. We have Pitying Needle and Hayward Might. Both of these cards we can find off of Ursa Saga. Also, conveniently, we can find Hayward Might off of Elvish Reclaimer as well. So, a little bit of a double dip with the insect. But this is the deck we're going to be playing through a Modern League. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. And if you would like to support my channel, the ways to do that are a couple different ways. First of all is you can support the stream at no extra cost to you whenever you use Mana Traders and TCG Players services. And you can, while using the links in the description down below, you can also find a 10% discount for your first 2 months on Mana Traders as well in the description. And finally, you can support my content through Patreon, through donations. With any donation of $30 or more, I will play any deck list of your choosing in any format as well. And finally, if you're interested in taking your game to the next level, you can book some coaching sessions with yours truly, and I can hopefully help you take your game to the next level. That's it, and we're going to be playing some Green-White Titanias in Modern. All right, folks, let's get this party started. Is this hand great or terrible? This looks fine to me. So I think I want to Gracer on one. We're playing against first turn Negator. I respect that. Let's play a fetch land. Gives me more options for next turn. Still don't know what I want to be fetching here, but it's nice to have options. Opponent goes Temple Garden on one. Is this... Oh, this is Sue. Well, this matchup is probably great, right? Let's think. What can I call for? Huh. We have a couple of options to call for. I kind of want to call for Sarah Paragon. But I really need to find that last land drop, though. I think that's what I'm going to be looking for. I think so. I think that's the play. Alternatively, I can call for Renegade Rallier. And calling for Renegade Rallier allows me to guarantee a land drop next turn if I hold on to this fetch land, which may be reasonable. I think I'm taking 3 here. I think I'm just taking 3 here. I want to save this binding for like Kavu or something more worthy than Nakatl. You show up Roller. Okay, so let's Elamber Skull here. Knight of Reliquary is going to be a 4/4, which dies to what's his name, so I don't like that. I think I'm going to go for Sarah Paragon. Untap. Miss on land drop, which is devastating. Absolutely devastating. Pass the turn back. Ugh, that's absolutely brutal. That is so brutal. What do I want to call for here now? I guess I can have Stubborn Denial. Maybe this was just a mistake. Maybe I should have just main faced this binding while I had the chance. So this is Rafine's Tower, which is effectively a Plains. Let's see what's up. They may have Stubborn Denial. Maybe I punt it here. No Punterino. I'm gonna be taking 3 though. Man, I really gotta do something here. Not hitting that land drop is brutal. Maybe I should have just gone for Rallier. I'm playing 28 lands, so I was kind of feeling like I needed to get a little bit... I could get a little bit greedy there, but maybe that's just not reasonable. This is kind of interesting in that I can go Shadow Spear plus Equip, and now I can, like, Nakatl gets blanked. Now it's a blanked Nakatl. If this Saga... If I get to pop this Saga, I'm going to win. Because this turn I'm going Paragon into play my land, and that means that I get to play Titania next turn. So I think I'm blocking here just to make sure I don't get killed out of nowhere. Also gains a life in the process, which is nice. So now we Paragon into Fetch. Fetch actually gaining a life here, which is funny. Second Scion is pretty good for that. Okay, so we really need to draw something like my best draw would have been my best draw. Leyline Binding would have been my best draw. So I think even though I drew this Bog, I'm still gonna play out this so that I can gain 2 life. And now I think I'm trading with Nishowa Brawler. So I may die this turn. Actually, no, I'm gonna block the Draco instead of Brawler. Because if they have Leyline Binding, they kill this. So let's fetch, gain 2 life. Up to 14. And now we get the Garden, and now we have to do some math. So I block here. Opponent Leyline Bindings, I take 5, 9, 13, 16. So I'm dead. The problem is if they have Binding, I lose anyway, because they can just Binding Suranor in response to Titania. So I'm just going to go for this, and I'm going to just be dead to Leyline Binding, which I am regardless. But this at least gets a threat out of the board. Okay, so we trade. And we may still lose to Tribal Flames or Lightning Bolt. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that one turn where I missed the land drop, that was just too much. Okay, so Prismatic Ending, very good. We like Prismatic Ending. We like Engineered Explosives, and I think I like Forge Tender. I don't like Sanctifier, but I think Forge Tender is fine. Soulguard Lantern sucks. Bog sucks. Durance kind of bad. It always trades down on mana. I think Hayward might maybe okay because of my opponent's Leyline Bindings. I think I want to cut 1 Paragon and maybe 1 Knight. Knight is great. Grazer's fine versus Ragavan. Let's got a Titania. Okay, so we do get to be on the play here. Okay, let's keep this hand. I'm gonna go Flagstone's Map Go. Playing map because I don't think I want to expose the Hayward just yet. Okay, so opponent goes fetch go, which is fine. Yeah, let's go Saga. Saga is pretty nice here because it allows me to, on turn 3, pop it and then get it right back, thanks to Rallier. Opponent gets a Savai Triumph and Breeding Pool, so they can play a big dude on this turn. That's a Kavu. We just kill that Kavu, which I think it's what I'm gonna do. So let's Prismatic Ending the Kavu. And now I'm gonna play the Might. This coming turn is gonna be interesting because we have a couple of options. We can go Shadow Spear, we can go make Construct, get Shadow Spear and pass, play a tapped Temple Garden, which is also interesting. So lots of options. Lots of options. I think I'm gonna go the Saga route because I can save this Rallier to get this Might again, or if my opponent destroys Shadow Spear, I can get the Shadow Spear back. So I think getting value from the Saga is gonna be more important. It's bad if I draw Titania because I'm missing a land drop, and then I have to. I don't have a way to recoup that. Opponent goes follow this run, fetch for Sacred Foundry tapped. Nakatl. Okay. Alright. That's pretty good for me actually. So now we can play this out and get, I guess, Sudanorb, and then play Saga and pass the turn back. So now my opponent, if they want to kill a construct, they can. But I don't care too much about that. Lightning Bolt my Hayward Might. Okay. Gain 2 life. Your go. I can get it back if I want to with Rallier, which is again one of the reasons that I didn't choose to Rallier earlier. Leyline Binding. Okay. Take my construct. You got it. And I have a free way to enable this Surinor, this Renegade Rallier thanks to Flagstones plus opponent swing for 3. That's fine. Okay. So if I make construct this turn, so if I can go Rallier, get back Saga. Yeah, that's not very good. I think I'd rather just make a construct and play my tapped land. Because I kind of need the mana though. I do feel like I kind of need the mana. So let's go. Let's actually play the Renegade Rallier here. Gonna get Raffine's Tower. Gain 2 life. Play Rallier. We're gonna get back Saga and play tapped Temple Garden. Now next turn I can make double construct. And I'm sitting at 23 life. Wanting 1 card left in hand. I'm gonna take 7 here down to 14. On my draw step, after I make a construct, I can gain life from the Ursa Saga with Surinor, which is nice. So we're gonna have some nice incidental life gain happening. Okay, Giganta to hand is very good news for me. So now is when we start taking over, I think. Untap, make construct, sack Saga to Surinor, gain 2 life, get Shadow Spear, and now my dudes are gonna be 5/5s, and my opponent's probably gonna struggle to beat this. I can also just play out the Serra Paragon and I can get back my Saga again. We know one of their cards in hand is dead because it's a Giganta. Tribal Flames, you got it. Okay, so the last card in hand is so gonna make a construct here. We don't have anything else to fetch with Saga, but I don't think it matters too much. Okay, now that I drew the Reclaimer, I'm just gonna make another construct. So dudes are pretty beefy. I'm just gonna play land. And I mean, do I even need to play Reclaimer? I think I'd rather just suit up the construct and just swing for 6. It just seems better than playing out the Reclaimer. Next turn we go Paragon, get back Saga. Like, how does my opponent ever beat that in a gazillion years? Just a casual 2 for 1, 2 for half gain 6 in the process. You'll love to see it. Alright, opponent fetches in my end step. Not particularly relevant. I think at this point my opponent has no outs. So they're just going through the motions, but so they're doing stuff, but I don't think that stuff really amounts to anything. Can play Paragon. I have 1 mana floating. I could Paragon, play Saga, suit up the Paragon, which is interesting, but it blows me out. if my opponent deals with the Paragon. I'm definitely playing out Paragon. That's the easy part. Now I could go land Hayward, which is interesting. I think I'd rather just play out Saga though, just to keep the engine going. I mean, I can't really lose though. Like I can take all the damage and it still doesn't matter because I have Suranor going. So yeah, this is just fine. This coming turn I'm gonna go play Flagstones from the graveyard, sack Flagstones to Suranor. Oh no, but then I don't get the land from the Flagstones. I don't think. Yeah. Oh, no, it actually works. It doesn't exile it instead. It just says exile it. Ha! That's very funny. Alright, so here take 9, go down to 5. Doesn't matter too much. That's really funny, actually. So I guess what I want to do actually does work. Sweet. Ragavan. Not super good. Oh. Oh, that one? Okay. So how cute do I want to get here? I think I want to get fairly cute. White, green, Rallier, get back Flagstones? No, I don't have enough mana to activate if I get back Flagstones. So I'm just going to get Ursa Saga. And now I can Shadow Spear here and swing for... I guess I can swing for more than 5. Oh, I can swing. Yeah, I can just swing for 5 and then move the Shadow Spear over to Serra Paragon to block. That's better. All right, opponent has seen enough. Any changes? I don't think so. I think this is fine. I want all the removal. Maybe a call can go for another, maybe Titania, maybe another Paragon. That's close. I mean, I think call is great, but with my opponent being on the play, I think being on the play myself, I'm a little bit more excited about call. This hand is very shaky. This hand is very slow. It's gonna have to be something else. I think I'm gonna ship this one. This is better, not by a lot, and I think I'm gonna bottom the call. This hand is so freaking slow, though. That's quite powerful. That's quite good. Okay, that helps this hand tremendously. I'm gonna go Temple Garden first, because I'm not gonna get to make the Reclaimer into a 3/4 quickly enough. But if I play it out, if my opponent kills this Reclaimer on turn 2, then I can just play Heath and sort of set things up that way, potentially. Okay, that's a 5/3. Okay, let's fetch for a basic forest. And I'm gonna sack this forest for... I don't know what just yet. Take 5. Probably a Saga? I really don't want to see, like, the flyer. Ooh, just passing it off the turn? Okay, can work with that. So now my knights are gonna be 4/4s. I think I'm just gonna get Flagstones. Interesting. Okay, so yeah. So let's just go for this. And now I'm gonna block plus sack. And now I'm gonna get Flagstone. Which means that now knight is gonna come down as a 5/5 at least. Now it also forces the action on the Reclaimer, which is nice. Dromoka's Command. Okay. I'm not gonna say that I was playing around Dromoka's Command because that was not happening whatsoever, but this is not the absolute worst that could have happened there. But yeah, I'm definitely getting Saga though. And I guess one of these knights is just gonna be doing some chump blocking. My best draw is what? Prismatic Ending? Yeah, this is the classic game where if I had been on the play, I think I would have been in really good shape, but because I was on the draw, I was always on the back foot, and I'm just not gonna have enough time to catch back up. Tribal Flames, down to 1. Okay. Green, white, 1. Grazer. Say done, and show me the removal spell / lightning bolt or whatever. Yep. All right. We got we got on the very, very last turn. See you next round. Okay, here are the Orphan Guards. So this can mean a variety of different things. This could be Elementals deck. It could be a control deck. Could be Belcher. I think I'm gonna err towards control deck and keep this hand, which is not like incredible or anything, but ooh, okay. Well, that's not what I was expecting. All right, so that's one of the worst possible draws in the entire deck. That is a disgustingly bad draw. What am I playing against? What? Is this some... Oh, okay, my opponent's doing some nonsense over there. So it is probably a control deck. It's like a spike deck. Darksteel Citadel seems so bad though. So this has been terrible. Okay, so play a tap Temple Garden, say go. Maybe I should have actually played the fetch land anyway. Just so if I find another fetch land, I can play that instead. Holy crap, what is my opponent doing over there? Jesus. Okay. Alright. That is unexpected to say the least. So we're playing against Rise and Shine. Classic archetype. Classic modern archetype Rise and Shine. We can beat this though, because we have Titania. So if this saga does pop off, then we can potentially just play Titania and win that way. I imagine Galvanic Blast has to be over there in my opponent's deck. Okay, so that's bad for me. It grows my knight. So I think what I'm gonna do is, yeah, because I think it's actually quite important for me to get, especially if my opponent doesn't do anything. If they don't do anything, I think I'm gonna go... No, actually, never mind. No, I erase that because I actually can... I can just turn the knight into a 5/5. So this is just fine. So I can just play my fetch land and say go, and I can just end step. Like this knight just blanks my opponent's clock. So Ensoul Artifact. How silly of me to think that I would have blanked my opponent's clock. Clearly, I was not playing around in Ensoul Artifact on Darksteel Citadel. My bad. It was my bad. I'm not going to play around Galvanic Blast. If they have Galvanic Blast, I lose. That's okay with me. That is just okay with me. So, we're going to get Saga here. Get Raffine's Tower. Sack Temple Garden. Get Ursa Saga. And now I guess we're going to chump with that thing. Down for 5. Let's play out Flagstones. And I guess I'm just going to pass the turn back here. The 5 points of damage don't really matter. And having access to potentially a necessary blocker can be important. Spiral of Canal gets played. Well, my opponent's deck is junky AF. Junky AF. Okay. I would like to make a construct, opponent. I would like to block your big Darksteel Citadel. Can I? Sweet. Excellent. Thank you. Now, end step, we're going to sack Temple Garden and I'm going to get the Yavimaya. And tap. Follow the green mana. And I think I want to sack this too. No, because then I can just sack Flagstones. It's fine. So let's get Suran Orb. And let's play a land and cast Titania. Get back Ursa Saga. And now we're going to get to have some fun and swing for lethal on the crackback while gaining a bunch of life in the process. Also, my opponent did not even put Kahira in their hand last. Can you believe that? Supreme Verdict? Well, I was not playing around Supreme Verdict, but you knew that though. Oh my god. Look at that, Argoth entering untapped. You love to see that. Wow. Okay, so at this point I'm just gonna have to sack too many things, so. Wow, I was out-junked. Respect that. I respect that, alright. Force of Vigor comes in, Prismatic Ending comes in. Anything else? Hayromite. Yeah, potentially engineered explosives. Let's see. We do not want endurance. We do not want Bojuka Bog. Probably cut a Gracer. Soul Guide Lantern. Seems fine to me. Wow, my opponent's deck is wild. Absolutely wild. Keep this one. So we can go get Triome past the turn. They have Boom Bust. They have Supreme Verdict. They have... Jeez. So much junk. Like, I love me some junk, but there is such thing as too much junk. I think I'm just gonna like play like this, and the reason to not fetch there is to play around Boom Bust or I mean, obviously, we don't care about Wildfire, but Boombust can be a problem. And now at this point, I don't have anything that I'm really calling for, and I can just Rallier. Okay, that's a reason to do something. So let's get a basic forest. Play Temple Garden. Play Shadow Spear. So now if they have Boombust, they destroy my basic forest and I'm in trouble, but Stubborn Denial, my Shadow Spear. You got it. I can get it back if I need to, but I'm probably not gonna. Also, getting rid of that is kind of nice. If they suit up the Darksteel Citadel, then I'm gonna be looking pretty. That's rough. Bolt on the Reclaimer is bad. That's worst case scenario. Land would be great. Force of Vigor. Okay. No land there is quite rough. I'm gonna call for Reclaimer at this point in time. Reclaimer. Play Reclaimer. Hopefully you don't have another Galvanic Blast. My opponent's deck looks like a sweet limited deck. A really good limited deck. Looks like an against the odds deck from, from Saffron Olive. Beating Needle. Okay. It's kind of nice that I can just F6 here. Another Flagstone. Okay. Let's do that. Say yes. Get Fiend's Tower. And now I can just kill this and get the Reclaimer engine going, or I can just Renegade Rallier to get something back. Get probably the Misty Rainforest back. I think that's fine. I think I'd rather do this. If they have Stubborn Denial, they get to Time Walk me, but it's fine. If they have a hard counter for this, then that's even better, because then I can just blow up Needle on their turn. So now we're looking pretty decent. Okay, opponent just does nothing once again. What the hell are they doing over there? What the hell is going on? Okay, so we get that, and now this is interesting because I kind of don't really want to get Saga just yet. I could get Argoth, or I could get a Fetchland. If I get a Fetchland, I can go Fetch, play Rallier, get back Flagstones. I think I like that. I think I like that a lot, actually. Fetch for Plains, play Rallier, Rallier back Flagstone. And now I can actually go for Argoth if I wanted to. Argoth is the cooler thing to do. So obviously that makes it the right thing to do. Am I right? I think they're trying to overload, what's his name? Oh, Verdict. So let's do this. And Temple Garden. So right now I have 6 mana. I can go Paragon. If I find the land, I can go Paragon into Rallier. Getting Argoth is so tempting. Can I survive the lure of getting Argoth? I can't. This is not the right thing to do. I just want to point out that this is not the right play, but I simply cannot help myself, okay? I am only human, and I most certainly cannot help myself. So we're gonna go Flagstones into Titania. No, we're just gonna get Elvish Reclaimer here. Otherwise, we just get blown out by another Supreme Verdict, right? So this allows me to just call for another Serra Paragon if I get verdicted. This is just an instant board state. Starting to think that this Force of Vigors may not be as good as I kind of think. Hey, gain 2 life. Got him. Kahira to hand. Okay, so their hand is Kahira. So they could have Stubborn Denial here. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They do. Okay, that's fine. So now we know they have Kahira, 1 card. So we're just gonna play Titania. And I think we pass the turn because if this pops, we just win. So this is enough. Like if they have a verdict, they have to use it on Titania. So this is bad if my opponent has Galvanic Blast instead of verdict. But if they don't, this should just be game. And I'm not digging these forces. Like I feel like I should be doing something else with these slots. That's a Kahira. Okay, that's a land. And we're about to do some stuff. Trigger. Nice. So we get the land from Flagstones. That's a call. This is a 10-10. We're gonna turn this beautiful land into another threat. And we're just gonna get in there. Vigilance, Reach, Trample, Haste. That is so many keywords. Also, it's really funny that it has haste now that I think about it. Oh, I guess it has to have haste because it's 2 cards. And there's a very tiny and awkward line right in there. But I guess it makes sense because I guess it's a different object. It's not just flipping, so it has to have haste. That's really weird. Because this only triggers in your upkeep, so you would assume that it can attack just because it has been around for a turn, but... Alright, so these forces looked so bad that I guess I'd rather have explosives than the forces. Is that really better? Maybe. We are in the sickest jank mirror match that has ever been played. What's this hand? What does this hand do? Not enough, probably. This one does something. Keep this bottom, and I think I'm gonna go turn 1 Maya to play Reclaimer. Yeah. One of the reasons was Renegade Rallier, another of the reasons was so if they have the boom bust, they blow up the Abimaya, which means that I still have this to enable Leyline Binding, so multiple reasons to do that. My opponent's mana is wild. Their mana is wild. Land, Hayward Might. Just realized I can kill that. And I think I want to kill that. We take 5. Yeah, I do want to kill that. We take 5, but then I can just binding the other thing. So yeah, I definitely just might. If I find a land here, I'm gonna be so happy. Unlucky. So unlucky. So let's fetch for a basic forest. We're in a Rallier, Misty, Swing. The idea here, we fetch for Rafine's Tower now. Leyline Binding is only 2 mana. We go from there. Serra Paragon allows me to get rid of these whenever I want to. Kind of funny that they're falling behind because all of their lands ETB tapped. Okay, so this is Rafine's Tower. Untap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Serra Paragon. Get back Misty. And I think we just chill here. I'm gonna attack for 1 because I'm not blocking with this. I am blocking with the Rallier though. Next turn we get back the Might. We get rid of probably the land, the Rustvale Bridge. Ooh, I guess I can get back Rallier and then Rallier gets back the Might. That's probably better. So if they attack with Citadel, I chump block. What a wild deck my opponent's got going on over there. Sure. Opponent's out there rising and shining. Nobody can argue with that. Got it. Chump. Fetch. Gain some life. Get Jetmir's Scar. This is interesting. So I can go 2 here. Sack my land. This is the kind of spot where I really wish I had access to Celestian Sanctuary. So I can hit my land drops. But this will need to do. So now we get back Rallier. Now Rallier gets back Might. Gets back Plains. And now Plains. Man, this is such a nightmare to track. Oh my god. And I can Leyline Binding the Ensoul artifact. This is like an absolute nightmare to track. So now if I were playing in paper, I would need to keep track of the fact that if I sack exactly these basic Plains to Elvish Reclaimer, I would gain 2 life. I guess I didn't get it back with Paragon, never mind. But still, like, so I need to be watching out for that kind of stuff, which is kind of silly. But yeah, I actually made a mistake. I did find this off of the Rallier, not this. So we are clocking in the air, which is good. Clocking in the air. Rest in peace. Oh man. So we need to engineer explosives that. It's slightly annoying, but take 4. My Flagstone engine has been stopped though, so I have to be careful with that. 1, 2 to play explosives, 1, 2 to crack it, 3 to play Knight. Is playing Knight better than just activating Reclaimer? I don't think so, but we definitely want to play explosives. And I want to be attacking Paragon. Now the question is, do I want to crack this EE now? And I think no. It plays a little bit into Galvanic Blast, but I think that's fine. Honestly, I could see my opponent's deck being decent versus certain strategies. Like, how does Murktide get rid of or like a Scam? How does Scam get rid of like these cards? That's pretty hilarious. I mean, sure, they have a Blood Moon and they lock you out of the game, right? But like, if you do get a quick like 4/4 or 2, then you're kind of can't lose. Okay, I'm gonna attack here. Looks like they are. So we're gonna block, and we're gonna crack Explosive. Blows up. Rest in peace. Couple of life. Welcome. So now we sack Flag Stones. We're gonna start to get some saga action going now. Get a land. Here's Ursa Saga. A little bit of a numbo that all of this stuff exiles my cards, so I don't really get to grow Reclaimer. I mean, I don't think it's particularly valid complaint, but it feels like I'm just doing fine, but just kind of pointing out the irony. Okay, anything I want to call for? Not really. I can't believe my opponent's deck is playing Supreme Verdict, which they can't cast. Like, if they attack and they pressure me, then they can't cast spells. If they cast spells, they can't attack. It's so funny. Yet this match is still going somehow. Can I get ahead in the Jank Mirror match? Ooh. Big land. Big land. Which is about to get chump blocked by a 1/1. Opponent moves to combat. We attacking? Or not? No attacks. Okay. So here's a construct. I think my opponent is just setting up like a one-time lethal attack. I think that's their game plan. They're trying to go like Verdict into kill you. But they're so far away from Verdict plus attacking in the same turn. I'm not sure they're going to be able to do that. Let's get another Saga. We have a lot of mana, so untap, another Reclaimer. Let's make a construct. And oops, I meant to sack. Oh, no, this is fine. Is this fine? Okay, so I meant to sack there. For what? Another Saga? Sure. I see so many constructs. It's great. So I think I'm just gonna get Shadow Spear here so that I can set up a 2-turn clock. Play Saga from the graveyard. Suit up Paragon. Swing for 4. You're dead next turn. I can call for another Paragon. Also, I just realized I can... Wow, I just realized that I can use Shadow Spear to remove Indestructible. So even if they Wrath, I can just make them destroy their own lands. Totally... I always forget about the flavor text in Shadow Spear. That is awesome. Oh, please go for it, opponent. Oh, please. Please Wrath me. Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yes. Pay 1. Permanence your opponent's control looks hexproof and indestructible. Oh, this is great. I'm having a great time. I am having an incredible time. All right. Boom. That was fun. That was fun. All right. Make a construct. And this is a lethal attacker. 1, 2. Make a dude. Sweet. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. My opponent's deck was so brave. I respect that a lot. Third round. Let's see what's up. Yeah. So this is actually very interesting because I can go turn 1 Yavimaya Gracer, and that potentially sets up Endurance for turn number 2. So I think I'd rather do that instead of Reclaimer. It also gives me time to set up a potential scenario where if I'm playing versus a Bolt deck, I can save the Reclaimer until the point where I can just play it as a 3/4 straight up. Hallowed Fountain. Okay. So I could do that, but I'm not going to play Rumbold here. So I'm just going to play this Reclaimer out there, out in the wild. I'm not going to attack with Gracer and get punished by my opponent going shock into Ragavan. And there's... my Reclaimer is going to get bolted. Damn it. Oh, wait, what? Excuse me? Okay, there's going to be something going on here. Like, it's probably like a Wizard's deck, right? That is what's up. I think I probably have enough time to set things up here. So I'm just going to pass the turn back. Wait until I have more information about what the hell my opponent's doing over there. So I imagine Wizards lining and things like that. Seagate Oracle. Yeah, okay, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I don't know if I should laugh or if I should be terrified. But it's one or the other. Maybe like ephemerate and stuff? Maybe they're doing some ephemerate things? Okay. Is 1/5/3? I guess 2/5/3 is good enough here. Probably. So let's just get back Misty. I was thinking about whether to sandbag until I have Sudanor in play, but I think I'm better off doing this. Viashino Pyromancer into Seagate Oracle. It's gotta be a combo deck. Like, what is this league? Also, I was watching Spike earlier today, and he was playing against wild decks as well. What is going on today in MTGO? So if they bolt me here, does it matter? If they moon me here, I mean. I don't think it does, because they just died to 5/3s. Aether Channeler. I just have no idea what's going on. They make a bird? What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Okay, so I'm just gonna make a dude on end step. Get my... what? Oh, oops, forgot to float mana. Yeah. I am done. I'm kind of done trying to draw conclusions from this. I think that this is just meme day on MTGO today. And I just say this and I'm totally about to just get completely destroyed by something that I still don't know what it is. There's gotta be like ephemerates and stuff like that on my opponent's decks, right? There just has to be. Soken Sun has been played. I am intrigued. Again, still, I'm not discounting that my opponent may have some secret I kill you combo out of nowhere. Yeah, second Aether Channeler, probably not gonna cut it. Yeah, you got me. You bounced my elemental. You just passed the turn. Okay. Well, here goes nothing. I get a 5/3. You get a 5/3. Everybody gets a 5/3. Temple Garden. Get Ursa Saga. Fetch. I'm gonna chill on this Endurance. Very unlikely my opponent's playing Sweepers, but I don't know. That's a land, which is another 5/3. Swing for 15. Okay, so they block with Channeler plus Bird Token, which seems acceptable. Okay, those are acceptable changes. Acceptable exchanges, sorry. Man, Modern is wild. Step throughs get cycled on my end step. I cannot wait. Show me, opponent. Don't keep me waiting. Magus of the Moon, there you go. That's not gonna do anything though, but fetch. That's another 5/3. There's no 2-mana card that bounces all my creatures to my hand, right? That's not a thing. And here's a construct. So funnily enough, I could sack the Saga, but this makes a 5/3. So I think I want a 5/3 better than I want to have one more land in play. So I'm just gonna resolve this just so I can get another token. I could save my land, or I can just, get it destroyed. Also, I can find another Saga here, so it goes immediately to the graveyard, and I get another 5/3. That's really funny. All right, so we're playing against something. So let's cut Soul Guide Lantern. Let's cut Verdugo Bog. And Prismatic Ending may be okay. Like killing Magus is probably important. Endurance. And I think that's kind of it. I don't think I care for Gracer. I think I'd rather have Endurance than Gracer. Let's go with this and see what happens. Sanctifier, probably not worth it, and neither is Containment Priest, nor Forge Tender. Maybe Forge Tender is worth it. Maybe it's better than Gracer. I do have to make sure that I play around Blood Moon, and as long as I do that, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to win this game. Okay, what is this hand? It just doesn't do anything. Let's ship it. Ooh, this hand's good. Keep. Bottom Titania. It's worse than all my other cards. So this hand's gonna go turn 1 Garden. If I find an untapped green source, I'm gonna be in good shape, I think. What I would like to do is I would like to make it so I don't play Knight of Reliquary until it has 4 toughness. Opponent moves to 5. Man, just not catching any breaks out there, huh? Untap green source. Yeah, I think I'd rather play Jetmir's Garden here than Argoth. So my opponent could go... They fetch on end step, okay. They could go Bolt your Reclaimer into untap Magus. Okay, so that's what's going on. We're doing Harmonic Prodigy thing. So I think I just kill that. Even though this is my answer to Magus. So if I wanted to beat Magus, the play was to go Reclaimer into Argoth. And then I can use Reclaimer to give me green mana. Maybe that's what my opponent did, they just mulling into Magus. Entirely unlikely that was the case. Okay, so here's a Reclaimer. And here's... I think if they have the guy that bounces or makes a 1/1 and draws a card, I think that whatever they choose is what gets chosen again. I don't think they get to like bounce plus draw a card, for example. Okay, so there's the Bolt. Ooh, it has prowess too. Look at them go. Look at them go. Okay, so we get to double spell here, which is nice. Funnily enough, this Reclaimer is more valuable than this Knight of the Reliquary because it fixes my mana and it also ramps, while Knight does neither of those things just yet. It has the potential to do both, but it doesn't actually do anything just yet. So now at this point they would need to have land into Bolt into Magus, which is... Yep. Knight down. Removal for Reclaimer, yes or no? Looks like no. Okay. So now we're gonna be good. Hey. Yeah, sure. I think I'd rather activate Reclaimer than cast Paragon. I could have gone Paragon into Reclaimer, but just by getting Reclaimer going, I can start to ramp, and then that makes my Paragon that much better. Because I can guarantee that I get a Knight of the Paragon. I think I'm actually finding a fetch land here, as awkward as that might seem. Fetch land allows me to play Titania and make 1/2 dudes. Bolt Reclaimer. Sack that. And now they can't have Magus, so I'm not even afraid. I'm still gonna get a basic planes as opposed to the other thing. And we're getting, what's a piece? Reclaimer down. Now I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can go Paragon Reclaimer. Soul Herder. Oh man. Particularly great for my opponent. Okay, so fetch for forest. I think I'm going Paragon into Reclaimer into map. Pass the turn. And now Reclaimer is going to start doing Reclaimer things. Okay, so they drew a blank. And we are going to take over this game. What is the fastest way to win? It's gotta be Titania, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Titania, get back Flagstones. And I think we get a fetch land too. Swing with Paragon. And that should be game over now. Man, what a wild league this has been. Explosives for 0. To be fair, like if they had found like literally anything, like any wizard, they would have kind of been able to go off here. Because they could have gotten like 4 triggers of whatever wizard that is. Which is pretty wild, actually. That's a lot of triggers. I don't think things are going to go work out for them. Gain some life, makes up 5/3s. Suck some lands, you know, just the usual. Just the usual. Fetch Temple Garden. Now the Saga party begins. It's pretty brutal for my opponent, actually. So let's cast Knight. And I guess we're gonna play Shadow Spear. Let's suit up the Paragon. And I think I'm just attacking with everything besides the Reclaimer. If they want to trade Soul Herder for Titania, we're good. I have a second Titania going. So I think my opponent's only out really is for them to draw like a powerful wizard. I don't even know what they could draw here. All right, 2 and 1. All right, I cannot wait to see what's coming next in this wild league. Turn 1 Reclaimer. Yeah, okay. I'm on the draw, a little bit slow hand. I would like to have access to 1 removal spell. But turn 1 Reclaimer, Shadow Spear, potentially Titania to help stabilize. Opponent moves to 6. Verdant Catacombs, go. It's not your average modern start. Does that mean Yawgmoth? If I see Verdant Catacombs, the very first deck that comes to mind is Yawgmoth. Okay, so we find Misty Raining Forest. So I think I'm fetching for Basic Forest. Reclaimer, here we go. Opponent doesn't fetch. Bloodstained Mire could still be Yawgmoth. Could be... Okay, Jund? Maybe Jund? Shadow would be exciting. I've not seen Shadow in a really long time. Oh yes. Oh yes, Tarmogoyf. Oh yes, Tarmogoyf. How I missed the... Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to make Reclaimer into a 3/4. So now this this Reclaimer is just bigger than my opponent's Tarmogoyf. They could have like Inquisition to get rid of their Shadow Spear. Okay, Foothills and go. Wait, what? I mean, I'm locking, right? There's no way I'm not locking here. Mutagenic Growth. Wow. Okay, so I guess it has to be some form of Shadow. It's gotta be some form of Shadow. I guess we get Argoth then? Maybe I shouldn't have blocked there. I mean, it's very obvious that I shouldn't have blocked now, but I was never gonna be playing around Mutagenic Growth, right? So I was thinking Endurance, and then Endurance doesn't do anything, like they just bounce. So obviously my opponent got me good there, and here I'm gonna play Reclaimer as opposed to something else. And yeah, this Grazer is just not gonna do anything, so rather just put it in play, clog up the board. They didn't shock when they could have in the last turn, so maybe it's not Shadow. It's gotta be Shadow, right? Like, what are you doing? Like playing Mutagenic Growth in a non-Shadow deck? That's just unreasonable. I think we take it here. Take 6. What do you got in second main, opponent? Scourge. That's a really good draw. Okay. So now we stood up here. Pass the turn. And now I will have gotten enough value from this Reclaimer, so if they attack again with Goyf, I'm just going to block. Reckless Impulse. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's a kind of a whiff. It puts the Sorcerer in the graveyard, my bad. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. So, block there, lose to TBR, which is my opponent's last card, of course. Okay. Okay. So we're playing against some sort of Sue nonsense. Sanctifier seems good. Bogs, medium. Soul Guide's probably also medium. Don't like Boseiju. Actually, Boseju's on tap. I think I'm just going to cut Argoth. Like, Titania is just not going to happen in this matchup. I think I'd rather have Paragon than Titania. It's a little bit slower, but I think it's fine. How do I feel about Chalice? Chalice would be for 2, so I don't think that matters. Now that I have information about what my opponent's up to, I think this matchup's going to be good for me. Okay, we're going to keep this. Bottom, Temple Garden, done. Go, Jetmir's Garden, go. Opponent kept 7. So I can call on turn 2, or I can... I think I'm going to call on turn 2. Imagine some form of this spell here, DRC. Okay. Do we care about DRC? I mean, we do about DRC. So this means I can go ending, kill DRC, then play fetch and fetch for Triumph, which is kind of nice. So they know about that basic forest, ending DRC, pass the turn. Okay. So now I'm gonna get to play a 4/4 Knight, which is pretty sweet. So Raffine's Tower. Yeah, so let's find the basic planes. And the reason to play planes there as opposed to playing Misty is that my opponent could have access. Like some versions of these decks have played like Traverse and Magus of the Moon in the deck. So maybe my opponent has something like that going on. I don't know. My opponent basically has as much of a brewer's advantage as I do at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. They can Mutagenic Growth. They can Lightning Bolt and kill Knight. I really want to untap with Knight. I think Benin Scourge is Shadow. And what is this? Another Scourge? Reckless. Alright, so that's the engine. Oof, TBR. Okay, so I can do that. I'll get a 5-3. That seems reasonable. So let's get Ursa Saga and play Titania. Get Winsop Heath. Pass the turn back. Am I dead here? I think I may just be dead here. If my opponent does not play around Leyline Binding. I think I'm literally just dead. I guess they just flipped the perfects off of these Reckless Impulse. So I'm gonna represent that I have Leyline Binding. But the problem is I don't think my opponent can not go for it. I think they just have to. So this is not a good bluff. This is not a good bluff. Because otherwise like the Temur Battle Rage just gets wasted anyway, right? So that's pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal. Yeah. So we just... Oh, but wait, there's more. They're also gonna TBR the DRC. This is like so pointless. It's just so pointless. Unless they have like double mutagenic growth, but oh my god, they do? So they just want to still have all these me? Because they don't have to do anything, right? Like they can just force me to do something, so... Yeah, obviously I don't have anything, but... That was kind of funny though. Yep, we just got absolutely demolished by some shadows. Man, that looked strong. Like if you can just build this deck like this and just make it do this thing that just happened, Reckless Impulse looked very impressive there. Very cool list. Very, very cool list. All right, baby, last match. Okay, I like this. It's a little bit on the slow side of things, but it's kind of a robust hand, which I like. So we have a bunch of removal, we have a call, and then we have eventually Knight to take over. And we also have Flagstones, which is very nice too. That's a Hierarch. So we're gonna get Jetmir's Garden here, and then untap. Okay, so I think I want an ending here. Alternatively, I could have called for Reclaimer, but now that I found Saga, I'm gonna play Knight next turn anyway. Yeah, this is just Yawg. Yeah, I think I want to go for Saga instead of Temple Garden. There's no way they're main decking Force, right? I mean, if they're main decking Force, that's kind of good for me anyway, right? Because they can just... Like, we just get the card out of their hand and my Leyline Bindings become so much better. It would be awesome if my opponent plays a Yavimaya. That would be absolutely ideal. Birds. Okay, so it is Yawg, and opponent's doing stuff. So, this binding costs 3. If I binding now, we get rid of the bird, kind of time walking my opponent. Yeah, that seems like something I'm interested in doing. Whoops. Oh, I forgot about Urborg. That's right. That was funny, like it just untapped. Yep, so let's just Reclaimer and ship it back. So here I can actually call as well, which is nice. I don't see why not. So let's do... Oh, there you go. Thank you. Thank you, opponent. I was gonna call for that one, not to search for that one. I don't have to now. So now we can just sack Flagstones. Just... So now we sack Flagstones. We get ramping a little bit. Here we can get Yavimaya. We can get Argoth. I mean, we can get another Saga. We can get another Flagstones too. Kind of like getting another Flagstones. Yeah, I think another Flagstone's fine. So we do that, and now we get Titania. And this should close the door rather quickly. 1, 2. I think I'm gonna Leyline this. So let's make a construct and sack this Saga, which is gonna get another Flagstones. No, let's get another Saga. I'm gonna have access to Bojugebog here. I think that could be important. So let's get... We have a bunch of different ways to sack lands, so I think I'm just gonna get for Shadows. I'm just gonna go for Shadow Spear. This is sack, get a Plains, binding, get rid of Grist. I could also binding Insect and attack. That would have been another option, but I think that's better. Okay, so What does Sanctifier do? Sanctifier stops Giraffe Messenger, and it stops... That's it. That does not seem worth it. Containment Priest, on the other hand, seems great. Pity Needle, also great. Endurance seems medium. Prismatic Ending seems great. Leyline was great. This is going to be another matchup where I'm cutting Titania, I think. And go with something like this. Explosives is a little bit hit or miss. Sometimes it's incredible, sometimes it's terrible. I think this is fine. I don't think I want multiple endurances. Let's go with this. Okay. Keep this one. Keep this one. Okay, that's a bird. Prismatic Ending would have been a great draw there. No such luck. So I think we just pass here. Just gonna pass. Fetch for Leyline Binding for the Triumph. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get rid of that main phase. I can't have my opponent go nuts with that. Which means we're gonna be in trouble if they have... Okay. I was gonna say we would be in trouble if they have Outland Liberator or something like that. Or Magus even. But now this means that Magus is not that big of a deal, but Liberator is still pretty bad. Second Gris could also potentially be pretty bad. Yawg could potentially be pretty bad. That one's fine though. So they don't have Yawgmoth, because otherwise they would have casted. They could have something like Evolution though. Ooh, nice. So let's play Reclaimer and say go. They have Chord? Interesting. Chording for 1. Oh! I messed up. Obviously I was supposed to Containment Priest in response. I was like, oh yeah, now I can... now I can like... yeah, that was just like a huge punt. Obviously I should have just done that. Yep. So I guess that happens. Well, I threw this a little bit. I may have thrown this just a tiny bit. To be fair, I don't think there's that much I could have done. Like, I think that this just goes badly for me regardless. Whether my opponent has 1 or 2 Young Wolves in play, it doesn't really change anything. That's decent though. So I think I'm just gonna do this here. And this may force the action. So what this does is it forces my opponent to do this now. And then it's going to force my opponent to sack in probably like 2 of these things. Because now they're gonna need to... Like, they can't like sack Young Wolf and do this nonsense. So now they have to kill the Containment Priest and then they can do something. So I'm forcing them to sack, I guess, the Insect and the Ignoble Hierarch. But yeah, I don't think this matters anymore. Like, regardless, I don't think it would have mattered in any way. So now that they did that, I can Leyline Bind. And I guess I force them to also sack the Ignoble Hierarch. They still get to draw their entire deck, so obviously that's pretty bad for me. But hey, trying to look at the bright side here. Trying my best to look at the bright side. Oh, they let it go. So I guess that they have another Yawgmoth. Okay. So is there anything that... How does this work out for me here? They have another Yawg. I have to imagine they have another Yawgmoth. They don't. Oh, they just get it back. Okay, that's the same. Okay. So there's Yawgmoth again. But now I can stop their combo. So now they're gonna need something else, or just another Young Wolf, or like a multitude of things that they can have here. Of course, good attack from my opponent. Actually, an important attack, because in order to kill me, they need to be above my life total to kill me with Giraffe Messenger. So that's definitely like an important attack. Like it may look like it was sort of an irrelevant attack. It was also a free attack, but it's not an irrelevant one. Like, it's actually a good attack there. Okay, so game 3. I think this is fine. I don't think I want to change anything. Okay, game number 3. Sure, I guess. So they're on the iffy side. We have some early removal. We have a 3/3 Knight coming down as a 3/3 Knight. Opponent moves to 6. This is gonna find Jetmir's, I think. Jetmir's Garden. Okay. Am I killing Young Wolf? I think the answer is yes. So we exile the wolf, pass it back. Makes core the worse, makes their combo worse. I think it's worse. It's worth killing the wolf. It's wolf killing the wolf? Who knows? Geist. Okay. Now I really want to dodge the guy. Gonna play a green source there. So if I find another green source, maybe I need to Endurance plus Reclaimer next turn. But I really want to dodge Grist. If my opponent has Grist here, we're gonna be probably losing the game. Okay, no Grist is good. No Grist is good. Perfect. So now we get to play Reclaimer and say go. And it's kind of nice that we just get to sit here and represent that we have something, when in reality we don't. Alright, so this is Cord for 1, which is fine. Another Young Wolf. Ignoble. Okay. So this will suggest that they have another dude. They have the Yogg here. Ooh, okay. So they evil, which means I shuffle and I cast my Endurance. Get rid of their Geist. So now they can get Yawgmoth, and if they suck Young Wolf, I can go with Bujugabog. Yogg is gonna be pretty good value regardless, but okay. So they do go for it, and now we get to Bog. Not in fantastic shape or anything like that, by any stretch of the imagination, but we're not dead either. And now we are the ones putting pressure, as opposed to my opponent being the... Okay? It's another way to put pressure. But if they do assemble the combo here, I am kind of SOL. If they do assemble the combo here, I'm kind of SOL. Let's do this right now. So let's fetch, get a basic forest. And I don't have good attacks. So what I can do is I can just sack this forest next turn. They don't have that many cards. They have Geist though. I just needed one more turn. I just needed one more turn. Yeah, their last two cards are Geist plus... Man, if I had so many cards I could have here. I could have Leyline, I could have the other guy like Containment Priest. But I have none of those. I have none of those. That's rough. That's super rough. Yeah, the Yawgmoth matchup is not... It's not incredible. Usually creature combo decks can be problematic for this sort of strategy. I remember like back in the Heliod deck, that was just unwinnable. Just straight up unwinnable. Yeah, I just got nothing. They're just gonna get yeah, Blood Artist. Alright, GG's opponent. Got me. Alright, so that was more fun than good. But it was a good time. Titania is just not good enough, which is very sad, but I came into this knowing that, right? Like, even with the previous deck, the Collected Company deck, Titania was just kind of not very good. So, I'm not, like, super surprised that this was not very good. So, in my previous lists like this, obviously, this is taking up the space of cards like Renin 6 and, like, more Endurances and stuff like that. So, obviously, that is a lot better. So if you are trying to play something like this, that is obviously what I would recommend. And that is actually something that I want to be trying out. I want to go back to Naya Lands. I want to go back to the whole like Renin 6 Ursa Saga engine. But what I want to be trying to do is to make room for Leyline Binding. This is something that I have not tried just yet, and I think it's potentially very useful. Leyline Binding, to be honest though, was very good. Like, obviously it was really, really good, but it was not groundbreaking, I don't think, because most decks are just prepared for it. Like, it's a victim of its own success kind of deal, where everybody's just like playing Boseiju, everybody's playing like Outland Liberator and stuff like that in the Yawgmoth deck. So it's kind of a good card that it just pays the price of being too good by everybody being ready and being able to play around it. So it's a little bit of an awkward spot, and we saw that in a variety of matchups today, right? Like, obviously it was great versus like the random decks, right? But versus like the more well-tuned decks, the card Granted, like versus Shadow, for example, it would have been game winning, right? So that's kind of what you're looking for. But versus like the other deck, the creativity deck, all of a sudden the card felt like it was falling a little bit short. And by the way, that's one thing that lack of experience with the archetype, or like not necessarily with the archetype, but in the matchup specifically. So I did not mulligan for Orvar or for Eladamri's Skull, but like having access to Eladamri's Skull in the sideboard kind of makes me think that in that kind of matchup, you are supposed to just mulligan for call so that you can have like a guaranteed Orvar. So that's definitely some food for thought. Like it was a good league in terms like I feel like I understood a couple of things. It was also a fun league because my opponent's decks were just absolutely wild. So this is like, I'm recording this in the evening of my time. So definitely feeling like this is like the weird Brew timeline. But it was a good time though. Obviously it's not very good. Like this deck is not very good. I don't think Titania is good enough for Modern, unfortunately, even though I really wanted to. But it just is not. It's lacking in the power level department. So I will continue brewing with this, but I'm going to be trying more Naya decks in the future, or the Collected Company deck. Like the Collected Company just cutting Titanias and playing good cards instead. The Collected Company deck actually felt like it was doing something very powerful and very proactive. So it was pretty smooth, which I did like a lot. So maybe I will revisit that deck at some point. That's gonna be it for this video though. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on the way out. And as usual, if you would like to support my content, you can do so by for free, basically whenever you use Mana Traders and TCG Players services while using the link in the description of the video down below. And also, if you would like to support my content directly, you can do so through Patreon, through donations, or otherwise by booking coaching sessions if you would like to take your gaming to the next level. That's it for me today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Take care, and yeah, this year is looking nice. Looking forward to it. See you there. Bye.